Have you ever wondered how a man who shines brighter than the stars learned to find happiness in silence, solitude, and shadows? What if Kim Taehyung, the global icon of BTS, wasn't always the radiant soul we see on stage, but a man who first had to learn how to love his loneliness before he could love the world? Stay until the end, because this story might just change the way you see him forever. And if it moves your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more untold stories behind the brilliance of Kim Taehyung. They call him be the voice that soothes millions, the face that has launched countless dreams, the artist who dances through life with a quiet kind of grace. But behind the stage lights, the designer suits, and the disarming smile lies a story that not many have truly seen, a story of a man who learned to be happy, not in spite of his loneliness, but because of it. Kim Taehyung, the BTS member known for his golden tone and ethereal charm, once stood in the middle of his own silence, searching for what happiness truly meant when applause faded and the world fell asleep. When you look at him now, his warm laughter, his gentle gestures, his way of making every fan feel seen, you might think he has always lived surrounded by love. But the truth is more fragile, more human, and infinitely more beautiful. There was a time when Taehyung found himself sitting by a window in the middle of a sleepless night, watching the city lights blink one by one like distant stars, wondering if anyone truly understood him. He had fame, he had success, he had the world at his feet, and yet he often found his heart aching for something simpler, something quieter, something real. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? The world's most beloved idol, the man who commands stadiums, feeling alone. But in those moments of solitude, Taehyung didn't run from his loneliness, he studied it. He held it close, examined it, and learned to listen to what it wanted to tell him. I started to realize, he once hinted in an interview, that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. Sometimes, it means learning how to breathe again. Those words, soft and almost hidden between the lines, carried the weight of someone who had walked through his own shadows. Taehyung's story is not one of sadness, it's one of awakening. He began to turn his solitude into art. In the stillness, he painted, composed, and dreamed. Each brushstroke, each melody, became a conversation between him and the part of himself he had once ignored. His photography, often melancholic yet deeply poetic, revealed a man who saw beauty in imperfection, peace in stillness, and light in emptiness. His fans, who have followed every frame, every note, could feel it to this transformation from emptiness to elegance, from isolation to inner harmony. Perhaps that's what makes Kim Taehyung so magnetic. He isn't just a performer, he's a living reflection of emotion. When he sings about love, you can hear longing. When he smiles, you sense the depth behind it. He once said that he wants to live as someone who gives warmth, and yet, warmth cannot exist without the memory of cold. He learned to be kind not because life was always kind to him, but because he knew how it felt when it wasn't. People often talk about his visuals, his stage presence, his charisma, but few talk about his silence. That silence is where his truest self lives. It's where the boy from Daegu, who once dreamed of singing, still whispers to the man who has conquered the world. It's where he learned that solitude can be a friend, not a punishment. What does it mean to learn happiness from loneliness? For Taehyung, it meant learning to love his own company. It meant realizing that happiness isn't found in the noise of attention, but in the quiet of self-acceptance. He found joy in simple things: a cup of coffee on a foggy morning, a walk by the river, the comfort of music that speaks when words fail. Through the years, fans have noticed that whenever he disappears from the public eye for a while, he returns renewed, his eyes softer, his presence calmer, as if he has been having long conversations with his soul. And maybe that's why his music touches so many hearts. Songs like Sweet Night and Scenery aren't just melodies. They're emotional confessions wrapped in rhythm. They feel like letters written in the dark, addressed to anyone who has ever felt alone. He doesn't sing to his listeners, he sings with them, sharing the kind of loneliness that doesn't divide, but connects. There's something hauntingly honest about the way he lives his truth. He doesn't need to shout his pain to the world. He expresses it with artful subtlety, letting fans find their reflection within him. His silence becomes their comfort. His calm becomes their hope. When Taehyung stands beneath the stage lights, surrounded by thunderous cheers. It isn't arrogance that fills the air, it's gratitude. Gratitude that his loneliness became his light, and that light now guides others through their own dark nights. Taehyung's philosophy of happiness feels like poetry in motion. He doesn't chase it anymore. He cultivates it. He once admitted that in his early years, he struggled to balance who he was as an idol and who he was as a person. But the more he embraced solitude, the more he understood that his worth wasn't measured by likes, fame, or attention, it was measured by peace. That inner calm now radiates in everything he does, from his slow, deliberate way of speaking to his thoughtful pauses during interviews. It's strange, isn't it? The same loneliness that once weighed him down has become the foundation of his artistry. Every photograph he takes feels like a sigh of relief. Every lyric he writes feels like a confession from someone who has made peace with his past. His life became a living gallery of emotions, a balance between chaos and calm, between what he gives the world and what he keeps for himself. And yet, despite this serene transformation, Kim Taehyung remains unpredictable. He has a quiet rebellion in him, a refusal to let the world define his happiness. While others chase trends and noise, he chooses silence and sincerity. He doesn't need to prove his worth. He simply exists as art itself. Perhaps that's why fans around the world don't just love him, they feel him. They see in him the parts of themselves that crave peace but fear solitude. They see someone who turned his pain into poetry. His journey teaches a profound truth. Happiness isn't something you find. It's something you create from what remains after the noise fades. Kim Taehyung built his happiness from the fragments of stillness, learning that the heart doesn't need constant company, it just needs to be understood. In learning to love his solitude, he learned to love the world again. Today, as he continues his path through music, art, fashion, and film, Taehyung remains a man of mystery and meaning. Fans wait eagerly for every glimpse, every update, every melody, not just because he's an idol, but because he represents something rare: authenticity. In a world obsessed with perfection, he dares to be human. And that humanity, soft yet strong, has become his most beautiful masterpiece. So the next time you see Kim Taehyung smiling beneath the stage lights or walking alone through the city, remember, this is the man who learned to be happy in silence, who made peace his art, who turned loneliness into love. His story isn't about fame or fortune, it's about finding home within oneself. And perhaps that's the real secret he's been quietly teaching all along. Happiness isn't found in the crowd cheering your name. It's found in the quiet moments when you finally learn to cheer for yourself. So tell me, Cedar, what do you think? Have you ever felt that same quiet ache? That longing to be seen yet needing to be alone? If you have, maybe Taehyung's story speaks to you too. Maybe, like him, you're learning that solitude isn't the absence of love, it's the beginning of it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Share what this story means to you. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because somewhere out there, between silence and sound, between you and me, Kim Taehyung's quiet happiness is still whispering, it's okay to be alone, as long as you never stop learning how to love yourself.